as a project before.
Yeah, I mean a little shot so you can have like a little behind the scenes type shenanigans.
I was torn whether I wanted to go like put like gym clothes on to be like I'm the gym dude.
Right.
And I was like, nah.
You really commit
whatever.
to it.
Yeah. It's like just try to look not like a hobo.
It's Alaska judo, man. Folks, they know what's going on outside.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I was like, guys, wear like Costco sweatpants or like.
There we go. It's some extra tough. Just roll in, and you're good.
Yeah, totally authentic.
All right, what's up, everybody? So today, got a good guest, awesome guest, owner of Tongass Fitness here in Juneau, Alaska, Mr. Logan Lott. What's up, buddy?
Nothing much, man. How's it going?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Hey, man, thanks for reaching out. I really wanted to sit down with you anyway, just to talk to you. So this kind of just presented itself to me. So, yeah, thanks for being here.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I saw you made a post that was like, if you have anything, if you think you have something cool to talk about, or if you have any projects or whatever, like hit me up and have me on. You want people to come on the show, so I figured I had something interesting to say. I don't know.
I appreciate you, man.
We'll
Seriously. Seriously.
Could be a snooze fest.
I never know what I'm doing. Like, I never know if I put that out there. I was like, all right, who's gonna roger up, or who's gonna like say, hey, man, maybe we can do something. But it's been like 3 folks, and you're the first one, so I'm super happy. I want to sit down and talk to folks in Juneau anyway because, I've lived here for 3 years. I've started to really like learn to love this place just for like all the stuff that I can't get anywhere else. And it's interesting just how much Juneau does have to offer.
Yeah, that's definitely true. A lot of people would say the opposite. That, that there's nothing to do here and we don't have nothing.
I get it, man. I get it.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I myself have lived there for 17 years now, I think.
Oh,
like,
dang.
I mean, but off and on, I'm like, I grew up. My father was in the military in the Air Force, and so I grew up like all over the place. So I was born in West Texas, and then when I was a couple months old, we moved to Japan. We moved to Italy after that. We moved to Monterey Bay, California, San Antonio, Texas, and then when I was 12, we moved to Hawaii. And so I was there for a long time until I was like 19, and I came up here for college for like 1 year on the exchange program, just because I just wanted to see something totally different. And then I went back to Hawaii for a couple years. I've tried to live in a handful of other places too, but and I've traveled a bunch all over the world, but I always end up coming back here. So it is a pretty special spot for sure. Yeah.
No, I believe that wholeheartedly, man. Like, there's something special about everywhere you go, but like this place is just very different. I know it's like, they'll be like, no, it's only one of 2 state capitals you can only get by, like plane or boat. But then like you start moving around, and it's like there's so much trails. There's so many like places where you can just like, I just want to camp out here. Just drive, post up, and you're like 5 miles from your house, and you can just be in a really serene postcard like spot, man.
Yeah. Also, we have very like funny problems that like a lot of people don't deal with in like down south, like bears getting into your trash cans, ravens also getting into your trash cans.
Yes, or in the back of your trucks if you forget. Like,
yeah, totally.
Go to IJ real quick. I'll be right back out. And there's just a whole party in the back.
Yep. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. That is the dangers of having a truck here for sure.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Dude. So you said you had a podcast before. Like, what were you doing?
Oh, it was just like a project. They called it a passion project for my master's degree. So I have a master's in teaching from UAS here in town, and they let us just have a passion project, and it could be any format that you wanted to. Yeah. So I did like a one-time podcast episode with a friend of mine, and we did the history of Nimbus. Which a lot of people don't know what Nimbus is, or they know what it is, but they haven't heard the name before. But Nimbus is that weird turquoise structure that's next to the museum, just right outside the museum. It looks kind of like a weird slip and slide kind of a thing. It has a very interesting history. In Juneau, it's very controversial, actually. Yeah,
that kind of sounds a little spicy. All right.
Yeah. It was like the part of the state legislature, like this big monument to the Alaska State Legislature. And when they unveiled it, apparently the town just kind of had like a big collective gasp, and like a lot of people hated it. And so that's kind of funny. So, yeah. I did a 1 year mentorship, or not mentorship, what is it called? I did like no, it was half a year thing at the museum. So so yeah.
That's pretty dope, man.
Yeah.
Shoot. So wait, so what got you started into, fitness and getting this business going? I mean, have you always, you got a military family background, and, that always kind of feeds into that type of lifestyle.
Yeah. I was kind of a nerd. Like dumpy kind of nerd. I just definitely, I was that. Like I think in high school I would probably be known as or least known.
Oh man, the wallflower, got you.
Yeah,
got
exactly.
You. Yeah.
Like I just was kind of holed up playing N64 a lot. But whenever I was like 17, I finally got some good group of friends, and a friend of mine, he got me into lifting weights, and so. Ever since then, I've lifted weights, but I actually didn't really consider it like a career path until I was in like late 20s. So I think like 28 or something like that is when I was first considering it. So yeah. It was definitely, I went other routes. Like I was a waiter for a long time over here, just kind of, not knowing what you're doing with your life. I think that's a lot of your 20s, right? Like, what am I going to do? Who am I going to be?
Right.
So yeah, I was a waiter. I sold tours on the docks as well, which is an interesting job here in town. Like those guys are in the wooden booths.
Yeah.
It looks like a really corny job, but it's pretty wild actually. Like, so. Yeah, I've done a fair number of things, and then just in the past 5 years ago, a friend of mine got me started down this career path for sure. So
okay,
yeah, and I was a teacher as well. I was a paraeducator over at Gastineau, and I was a teacher at the charter school as well.
How was that? Like, teaching is always an interesting career field, I feel. Do you have those interactions with your students or your ex-students like now? Do you see them around or?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I do.
They still just think of you like, oh, there's Mr. Lott.
Yeah, Mr. Lott, or the charter school, they have a philosophy of only calling you by your first name. So kids would they'd call me Logan.
Yeah.
So which is kind of funny in itself. But I see those kids all the time, and they're older, and it's just a trip, to see. They were kids in 4th, 5th grade or whatever, and now they're like, leaving junior high school or middle school, I guess they call it here. Yeah.
Dude. So, all right, tell me how Tongass started, how the fitness thing started for you.
Well, I've been powerlifting for a while, about like 8 years or so. I've been powerlifting, and then I had a friend of mine. His name is Ryan Johnson, and he really, really wanted to start a gym. It'd be something new. He was really into CrossFit. I had never done it before. I was pretty strictly into my powerlifting, which is like 3 or 4 lifts, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he was like, "I want you to come in and be the strength coach," and I was like, "I don't know what that means, but." But sure. And so he got me started with it. That's how it all started.
Dang.
I mean, it's just crazy. Like, he got the ball rolling. It was his passion. I was just kind of along for the ride. And he rented out a boat condo, and like we painted the whole thing green, and got some equipment in there, and it fleshed out into a real thing. It's just, pretty wild to see this empty boat condo, basically like an abandoned warehouse almost, but smaller. And it's all just cold concrete, and then you put a bunch of stuff in there, and then it kind of blossoms into what it is now.
How long did that take?
Well, it's kind of a never-ending process, but it took about it took a couple months. It was pretty funny, actually, because at first we didn't even charge people money. We just wanted to learn how to become coaches.
Right.
So we were just like, we had no flooring. It was just cold, dusty concrete.
Oh, damn.
We had no bathroom. We were like, if you gotta pee, just run outside and go across the street to the woods. And God bless Alaskans, man. They were just like, okay. Like, like down south, it would not have happened, you know.
Like,
but
this is unacceptable.
Yeah, exactly. It was like, hey, it's a free class, so just bear with us, you know. So we did basically just body weight movements and like a couple of things we had laying around. But, you know, piece by piece, it really started coming together, invest more money and time into it, get some more certifications and this and that, and got some barbells and this thing called the rig, which is like multiple squat racks and pull-up stations and everything. And then, yeah, just getting more and more legit. And a couple years into it, now we've, because... I guess we'll talk about that, but Ryan's passed away.
Yeah.
But we have two of the condos, and we basically just like Ryan, before he passed, he emptied out, like, carved out one wall, and then just like basically we have two sides that are conjoined, and an upstairs and everything. So yeah, it's really, really grown.
Yeah. And that's bit by bit. I mean, to go from basically having nothing and just having a rental space that you can actually use.
Yeah.
To eventually, like, now having clients and having multiple classes.
Yeah.
Having folks in there. That takes a while, man.
It does.
Yeah.
It definitely does.
What does it look like when, I mean, were there moments where you were just like, I'm out? Like.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, honestly, it got really hard. So Ryan passed away. He was a mountain climber, and he climbed up to the Mendenhall Towers with another guy, a Canadian dude. And I believe he had done it before, actually. But the thought is that because he made like an Instagram post, actually. It was like, hey, I summited the towers, you know. And then, but then on the way down, an avalanche took him out. So, so yeah, so that was really hard. But you know, we came together as a community, like both the gym community and also the city of Juneau, just people who knew him or just wanted to show support. A lot of people came through, and we did like a memorial workout, like with the kind of like a rep scheme of like something that was dedicated to him. So it was like all exercise movements that he liked to do. We did this many of this many of that, and like the numbers that we picked were like the same as the elevation that of the towers. Yeah. So yeah, it was really special. So that was 3 years ago or 3.5 years ago, something like that. So that was really hard to like keep it going, but at the same time, it was like I got to keep it going, right? Because like Ryan died, but he didn't. Like his dream can stay alive. You know?
100%.
Yeah. So
that's beautiful, man. Honestly, yeah. I mean, that's amazing. I mean, because you didn't start off like, oh, this is my thing that I wanted to make.
No.
Yeah.
Because my thing was like, I was like, all right, Ryan, I'm a teacher, so I'm going to become a teacher, and like on the side, I'll help out with the gym a little bit, you know. So you know, that quickly changed, and of course, then I was a teacher. I got hired as a teacher at the same time as I had the gym, and it was hard. Like it was just hard to have just two things going on at the same time. You know, I think you know, the culture of busy that we have in American culture is of just like, you know, you have your side hustle. Yeah. And like like for yeah right.
I feel you.
Yeah. So like you know, but that can be like a huge pressure for a lot of people. And like, I mean, it's one thing if it's a passion project, like clearly this is a passion project for you. 100%. You're not just like making some stuff you don't care about, and selling on Etsy for side money or whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Box shipments where it's just
where there's no passion in it whatsoever. But you know, teaching and being a teacher is one of the hardest jobs you can ever do. And having that, and then also like having this thing like kind of on the side, but it's a real place, and it's something that needs care and attention. Yeah. Like it's tough to have both of those things going at the same time. So yeah. It was really tough. I got to a place where I was like really just struggling. I was not as good of a teacher as I could have been,
Right.
and I was not as good of a coach as I should have been, like at the gym. Luckily, I had some people that helped me, some of my other coaches and some people who just stepped up and volunteer. But then, like 6 months after Ryan passed, 6 months or so later, my dad passed, and so it was so much tragedy upon tragedy, and I was just like losing my mind completely. And I was thinking about selling it and everything, but I made it through the school year, into my first year of teaching, and then just kind of reevaluated things. What did I really want? And yeah, so that's where it came from there.
Yeah. Who do you have with you? Like, every time I talk to some folks, it's always like, you need a team. You need a team behind you. Like every successful, person I see, like everybody knows me. I listen to The Weeknd nonstop. Don't you look at me, Amanda. Amanda's working the board today. She's if I'm Joe Rogan, she's, what's his name? Jamie. Yeah, she's Jamie today.
Yeah. I'll listen to it a couple times.
Yeah, man, what does your team look like? How did they like show up for you?
Well, right after Ryan passed, I had one of the people who comes to the gym. Her name is Jamie Roundtree, and she just appreciated Ryan so much and appreciated what I was doing, and she just said, I'll step up and be a coach. And she didn't really have a fitness background at all. She just wanted to kind of step up and fill that void because she appreciated Ryan so much and what he started. And we had a couple other people in the gym community who like offered to coach in their different specialized fields, whether that was in like rowing or like jump rope technique and stuff like that. The community definitely stepped up. People helped like clean stuff. It was really helpful, and it was definitely a testament to like how they felt about Ryan, but how they also felt about the thing he built. The thing him and I built. That they appreciated the space so much.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of, there's a few gyms and fitness spaces in town, but they didn't have to come to us. They could have went that route, and I think a lot of other places like. I don't want to name any places in specific, of course. Yeah. But like there's a general kind of corporate like distance,
right?
That people keep from the members, and I think that's something that people really appreciate about us. Was that we didn't have that. It's a lot more personal.
Yeah.
This is a small town that we live in, and we just gotta, still like keep that small town.
Yeah.
Feel and community feel.
Yeah. I feel like being in Alaska, you need that. Yeah. Like, there's some stores or businesses that are across the U.S. that are, huge. But I feel like if you're really going to be a success here, like, people need to see you and be able to, like, reach out and touch you. And, like, oh, yeah, like, he's really in the community.
Yeah, I think that's definitely something like over this past year and a half of going through COVID that I think that that's been like really the best thing is just being able to reach out to members, to your customers, and just and also not really thinking about them as like this is where you get your money, but just they're people and they know that you're struggling and they're struggling with different things. And so just trying to, connect to people and keep that.
Yeah, 100%. That's kind of what I've been trying to do recently, just like be out more in town. Yeah. It's one thing to exist on Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's cool and all for people who don't know you and can't see you, but want to interact with you. But to try and like live and thrive and survive, like I need to be running around. People need to see me with a camera in my hand, like out at the glacier or up some mountain somewhere.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. We all can definitely take a step away from our devices for sure.
Oh yeah, I like to. I like to as much as possible.
Except when you're listening to the Night Show podcast.
Yeah, stay locked in. Tell your grandma about it. Don't go to.
You can go hiking and put the earbuds in.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, totally.
So, it's so crazy to me just to see like folks just like really just come to a place such like this and then just like really make it happen. What do you think it takes? I mean, versus like being down south, that might be different than being here to like kind of be a success in. It doesn't have to necessarily be in a gym, but like in a business. I mean, have you seen people like? I know you've probably seen people come and go in this town.
Yeah. You know, yeah, it's a struggle for sure to come up with something that whatever your business idea is that people they want. It's not too niche, you know, like say like, you know, I have my gym, but I really like Olympic weightlifting, but that's so small of a thing. Like if I was in Chicago or some like big city or whatever, like I could succeed. Being like, this is a place where we only do Olympic weightlifting and that's it. But in a place like this, you need to expand your ideas of what you think your business plan is going to be. Yeah. So you have to, not that you need to cater to like the basic, right? You know, but you need to make it accessible for everybody. Not that you can't specialize a little bit, but
you got to tear it out probably in a way.
Yeah, yeah. Like for us, like we started out as a CrossFit gym, and then we kind of felt like it was boxing us in a little bit. You know, we're like, you came to do only CrossFit and that's it. So we've kind of we branched out from there and started offering like some what's called open gym, where you can just come in and do your own thing. You know, so there's a swipe card and you can come in. It's 24 hours, and just if you because not everybody wants classes, you know, and you have to just like understand that and respect that. Like not everybody has the desire to be part of a group. They want to come in, they want to put their headphones on, get into the zone, and just do their own thing. And so, yeah, like I could have just been like, we only do this, and that's it. So I think kind of in this town, realizing that you need to branch out a little bit. You can't just be so narrow.
No, 100%. I can definitely, I can represent that. I started off really just trying to do a podcast, and it was cool. But then I was like, there needs to be different ways, not just from as a business aspect. I had to start stepping back and like, oh, I need different forms of revenue. So then I was like, oh well, I got these cameras. I can start doing photography. Yeah. So then start doing that. And then it's like, oh, well, people want to like actually do some video stuff, but just out in town. So like 2 days ago, I did my buddy's doing like a roller skate thing. So she just wanted somebody to like film her like skating, like on the road.
Was it to here?
No, my buddy Jennifer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So she wanted to do something. She like made a flamethrower. And she wanted to like get that as like the last thing. She's like, "Can we do this?" Like, yeah, I need to get like a plexiglass or something because if you roast my camera, I'm gonna be very upset.
And you know that's another thing about Juneau, man. I mean, you can be a flamethrowing roller skater. Yes, that's like awesome.
Yep, it's here. Like I was like, my buddy's like, "What are you out here doing?" I'm like, I put up a post and like people just started sending me DMs.
Yeah, totally. No, I think definitely Juneau has like a culture of you can kind of be yourself and you can be unique and get kind of wild. Oh yeah. But at the same time, like I was saying with my business, like I think to be a successful business owner, that it definitely helps to like branch out, but of course like stay fun, you know. Yeah. Like when you come into Tongass, like my point is that like everything is bright. There's like lots of color. The shirts that we make and everything are like lots of color, just a fun, welcoming environment. I think that's another thing too. Yeah. If you make it too stiff, then you know people aren't going to respond to that as much.
No, 100%. And I remember the first time I went in there, and I was like, okay. And like I saw some familiar faces. I was like, oh hey, and then like everybody was like, hey, how's it going? And I'm like, oh, all right. I was like, oh, I dig this vibe. All right, you guys are pretty cool. It was like, I'm not big into the CrossFit aspect as much, but you all made it fun. So then I was like, all right, I need to go back. I'm gonna fix my shoulder and I'm gonna come back.
Yeah, and that's another thing too. Yeah, like just branching out. Yeah, we're offering personal training and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, we actually just just started doing this. We call it the cardio loft, and it's it's our upstairs, and we got like treadmills and a couple Pelotons, and it's gonna be pretty cool. We just got a huge mural up. After Ryan passed, we had this local artist. His name is Gabe Trujillo. Actually, I think he's from LA. I'm not actually exactly sure, but he's here a lot.
Yeah.
But he did a mural of Ryan. And it's really beautiful. You can see it on our Instagram, or you can just come into the gym and check it out. But our upstairs, our new space, he just put this like huge, gigantic mural of like with a bear and a kettlebell, and like it's pretty sweet.
That's dope.
Yeah, the Tongass Fitness is like spelled out with logs.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm gonna post that pretty soon. So get the space ready.
All right, I'm looking forward to stopping by the shop, getting back into it, man. And I appreciate you hitting me up. If there's any way we can do some work together, what I got, you see what I'm working with. So,
totally, man.
Yeah, just let me know.
Totally.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks again, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
This closes out another episode of Night Show. Thanks for everybody for watching and listening, and we will see you next time.